What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into another episode of My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Sleaze. Today, we're going to be diving into my 5 smash start running backs. Obviously, I'm not going to need to name superstars like Bijan Robinson playing the Miami Dolphins. You better have him in your lineup 100%. These are going to be more like outside the top 10 range running back that I think are going to give you at least a 12-point floor with touchdown upside 20-point possibility. I'm going to break down the defensive statistics on it, some injuries, the game scripts I like. We're going to dive into all of that, guys. And remember, if it's like a top superstar guy, you're still going to play the superstar guy. I get a lot of questions, like if it's over Christian McCaffrey, you like him as a smash start. No, they're always must starts to me. So I'm just throwing it out there now. So before we dive into it, guys, make sure you tap that thumbs up, hit that subscription button, turn that bell on. I'll be live today at 1 p.m. We'll be doing some underdog drafts, some drafters drafts. We'll be doing some DFS, some best ball, everything like that. If you guys haven't signed up on drafters.com, make sure you use promo code SLEAZE. Like I said, we do best ball drafts, pick'ems. We're going to drop our pick'em tickets in there into our The Guys FF Discord over here that I run with Big Draft Energy. Both of these are pinned in the comments and in the description of the video if you want to check them out. Now let's dive into my 5 smash start running backs heading into Buy-Mageddon Week 8. And remember, Lions, Raiders, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, Jags, get them out of your lineups. So before we dive into my running back number 1, which you could already see is Isaiah Pacheco, I like to be transparent. I like to show you my calls from last week so I can be better myself and be better for you guys. So this is my Twitter. Obviously, don't follow my Twitter as well. It's the same thing. My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football, Sleaze Bomb. Now, week 7, I had Caleb Williams. Obviously, I said I blame the weather on there as a joke. Obviously, I missed on that. Bo Nix was a hit. Quinshon Judkins, Javonte Williams, Jordan Mason, Isaiah Pacheco hit. But Isaiah Pacheco was my rush prop of the week lock as well. Thank God he hit it before he got benched, but we'll talk about that later. Missed on Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Rashee Rice, Chris Olave, actual hits. Deebo Samuel hurt before I posted it. Cortland Sutton smashed. Mike Evans obviously got hurt in the game, so I didn't count that one. And tight ends always get me, man. I got Tucker Kraft, and I missed on Mason Taylor and Fannin, who both had good matchups. But I like to show you how I, prioritize not just giving you this content, also looking back at it so you can see where I was right, where I was wrong. And again, so I can be better for you guys. Now, let's dive into why I like Isaiah Pacheco for week number 2 as a smash start. And remember, these are going for 12-point minimum floors with 20-plus point upside and touchdown upside here. So Isaiah Pacheco was my smash last week to get 12 points. He got 12.4. He would have got 20 if the game script didn't get away and they were up 31-0 against the Raiders. So he didn't play from the third quarter 7-minute mark on in that game. That is why Brashard Smith got 19 touches. So Isaiah Pacheco, don't look at that, Brashard Smith as he's going to take the job from him. They have said his workload is going to increase. But the key thing that's missing here is that Kareem Hunt is going to be doubtful for this game and looking like he's going to be out. That means all the goal line work is going to go to Isaiah Pacheco in this game versus the Commanders. So let's look at his stats here. 66 attempts, 271 yards, 4.1 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Got it last week, first rushing touchdown of the year. 11 receptions, 43 receiving yards, and he got a receiving touchdown, I believe, in like week 4 or week 5. Snap share, 55%. So that number right there, right? You're looking at the start of the season, 50, 58, 56, 37, and then week 5, you start to see that injury go away. You start to see him get healthy, and you see the snaps go 63 to 77%. 77% is elite RB1 usage. Last week, he was playing 78% of the snaps until they blew him out, so it became 56% snap share for him. This is the RB1 job for Isaiah Pacheco, and people are asleep on this, okay? So target share 7.1%. That's not, he's not really a receiving back, but he can get catches here and there. Now, red zone touches 12. Kareem Hunt also has a lot of these as well. Remember, Kareem Hunt is out for this game. 55.4 points, RB 36. Now, you're going to get the Washington Commanders, who are led by Marcus Mariota at Kansas City this week. They give up 21.8 points to the running back, ranking 18th, 677 yards on the ground, 4 touchdowns, 291 through the air, and another touchdown, so about 900 yards in total the Commanders have given up to the running back position. So you're looking at about a 130 average per game. Obviously, Brashard Smith will sprinkle in here and there on third down and get a couple more touches, like they said, with Kareem Hunt out. But when you have this prolific Chiefs offense, and if you listen to my other videos, I'm all in with Big Draft Energy's call of Patrick Mahomes being quarterback one. This offense looks unstoppable with Rashee Rice back, and that is just going to lead to volume for Isaiah Pacheco. And with Kareem Hunt out, I like Pacheco to score a touchdown in the red zone in this game and at least give you a minimum of 12 points with a 20-point touchdown upside. Running back number 2, and yes, he is on here. Yes, this is his job, not R.J. Harvey's. It is going to be J.K. Dobbins. Now, I also like to target the high implied point total games, and this is at 50.5 over under. That means the points are going to fly. The Vegas thinks, as do I. Now, when we're looking at J.K. Dobbins here, somehow with the R.J. Harvey draft pick before the season, I was all in on R.J. Harvey. I was like, R.J. Harvey's going to win this job. J.K. Dobbins is going to be injured at some point, which you could honestly, you need to still be like stashing or cuffing R.J. Harvey with J.K. Dobbins' injury history. But this has been his job. And I know he's had 2 bad weeks here against the Giants and the Jets, under 10 points in that game. But the first 5 games before that, he was over 10 points. And he's still getting 50% of the snaps. So, and they even sprinkle in Beatty in here every now and then. So you get the Sean Payton full rotation system like he always does. Now, why do you got to love this matchup here? The Dallas Cowboys run defense is absolutely atrocious. But let's look at J.K. Dobbins' stats here first. 105 attempts, 523 yards on the ground. He had a 4.98 yards per carry, 4 touchdowns on the ground, 7 receptions, 22 receiving yards. That's where you start to see R.J. Harvey a little more. He's a better receiving back than J.K. Dobbins, so you see him get more of the third down work there. Receiving touchdowns, 0 snap share, 52.1%. See, right at 50%. Target share, 4.2%. Again, he doesn't catch a lot of passes. Red zone touches 16. That's going to go up in this game. 85.5 points, RB 17. So now we got to talk about the Dallas Cowboys and trading away Micah Parsons and how bad it has made this defense. It is terrible. So versus the running back, they ranked 29th, giving up 27 points per game to the running back. So even if it was, let's say, a 60-40 split, I'm still taking 60% of 27 points, which is definitely over 12 points for a smash start flex play running back or an RB2. So they give up 724 yards on the ground, which is second or third worst in the NFL. They've also given up 5 rushing touchdowns and 377 yards through the air as well with 2 touchdowns. That's 7 total touchdowns. It's a touchdown a game for the running back. Why I like the touchdown upside for J.K. Dobbins. And that's almost 1,100 yards, guys, to the running back in total. What? 1,100 yards? I'm not even, what's the math on that? Like 145 a game? J.K. Dobbins in a high implied point total game has to be in your lineup. Do not fear the 2 bad games against the Jets and the Giants. He is going to at least give you a 12-point minimum floor with touchdown upside and 20-point upside as well in this game. Running back number 3, and you guys know if you've been subscribed to my channel or been before the season, I was never a Breece Hall guy. It's absolutely paid off. He has not returned his return on investment, but here we go. This is the last dance for Brizzle, Breece Hall, and Sleazebomb together. I am going to put him as a smash start this week because you get the Cincinnati Bengals. And Garrett Wilson is out. And you also may have Mason Taylor out, who had a thigh injury yesterday. And Tyrod Taylor should be under center, but we don't have the update officially yet, or I haven't seen it yet. But I'm pretty sure with what the owner said that Justin Fields is not going to be starting in this game unless some of the injury popped up yesterday with Tyrod Taylor. That'd be the only way he's not out there. So let's look at Breece Hall here first. 99 attempts, 448 yards, 4.53 yards per carry. 0 touchdowns on the year. If you'd have told me we're 7 weeks in and he hasn't scored on the ground and through the air, I probably would have said that's why I was out on Breece Hall as a joke, but I at least thought he would have scored by now. 19 receptions, 164. We know he's a great receiving back. 61.8 snap share, not really RB1 usage. That's RB2, 3 territory right there. Target share 14.1. That is great. That's what you want for Breece Hall as a running back. Like I said, he's great at the backfield. Red zone touches very low at 6. Why? Because they never get to the damn red zone. And when they did at the beginning of the season, it was Braylon Allen, the big boy. And 78.2 points, RB19. So, now, this team is 0-7. There's nothing going for them. He's been a trade candidate. Why not let's showcase him right here against the worst run defense in football, the Cincinnati Bengals. The worst. 30.85 points per game they give up, ranking 32nd in the NFL, dead last. 859 yards on the ground, second worst to the Miami Dolphins, 6 rushing touchdowns, 310 yards through the air, which is also second worst in the NFL, and 4 touchdowns through the air, which is dead last in the NFL. That's 10 total touchdowns through 7 games. That is almost 1,260 yards through 7 games. So think about 1,400 would be double 7. And if I have 1,200, I'm about 150 yards away from 200 yards a game for the running back. Let's showcase Breece Hall here. Let's let him loose right before the trade deadline is coming. The 12-point game is coming with his first touchdown of the season, I'm calling, and he has 20-point upside play this week. Get him into your lineups. Running back number 4, AK-41, Alvin Kamara is going to smash this week. Now, the good news, which is not good news for Kendre Miller, but the good news for Alvin Kamara, which helps us Alvin Kamara owners that drafted him this year, is that Kendre Miller, who was getting more involved in the offense and actually looking good, went down with another injury like he always does, and he's out for the year. And what did you see last week when that happened? You saw the most usage he's had since week 2, back to 84% snap share. That is beyond RB1 elite usage. That is phenomenal. To put that into perspective, that would be, Jonathan Taylor numbers of that's how much he's out there playing. That is absolutely great. So we got to look at his stats here. So 94 attempts, 342 on the ground, 3.64 yards per carry, 1 touchdown, 25 receptions. So the Kellen Moore offense, and we talked about this before the season, Alvin Kamara thrives in the receiving game, but he doesn't really pass a lot to his running backs. But if you look at the last couple weeks here, it's gone up 5, 4, 4, 4 receptions. So that's way better than it was to start with 1 and 2 through the first 2 weeks. So you're getting a little more Alvin Kamara usage at the backfield as well with 123 receiving yards. Hasn't scored through the air yet. 69.8% snap share. See, that's what he was at. So he was looking at 63, 56, 73, and boom, 84%. That's monster usage. Target share 12.7. You'd like to see that be up. Alvin Kamara is usually in the 15, 18 range, but again, he's older and, new system. Red zone touches 17. Not bad for Alvin Kamara at age 30. 0.75.5. Now, you're going to get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are very, very good at stopping the run game on the ground. But overall, they rank 26th versus the running back, giving up 25.3 points per game. Now, if I'm out there at 84% and I take 84% of 25, I'm looking like a great play right here, right? So they've given up 549 yards on the ground, which is very, very good, right? That's top 10. They've given up 6 touchdowns on the ground. But here's the number, and this is bonkers. No other team in the NFL is even close to 400 yards receiving to a running back, and Tampa Bay has given up 431 receiving yards to the running back. So that's 1,000 total yards between on the ground and through the air through 7 games. That's also 7 touchdowns through 7 games. So you're looking at a touchdown average. Kendre Miller out. Will Devin Neal sprinkle in a little bit? The rookie out of Kansas, maybe he will a little bit. Still, I think this is going to be the Alvin Kamara show. And I still believe there's a trade possibility. I'm not looking at it like he's going to be sipping on the beach, or sitting on the beach sipping pina coladas or whatever he said in his tweet. That could be true. He has brought a lot of fans into New Orleans. This is his city. He's from the South. He's the Saints guy. I know all of that. But you also got to think it's a business. And $10 million to be missing out on a contract, if anything were to happen, is not just something you just walk away from and say you're going to be sitting on the beach sipping margarita or sipping pina coladas. Money always talks. So it could be a Breece Hall situation for Alvin Kamara. We could be looking at a showcase game possibility for Alvin Kamara to be moved. There was a lot of Chris Olave trade talk. They said Chris Olave wouldn't be traded, and now we're right back to the Chris Olave trade talk again. So Alvin Kamara, get him into your lineups this week. Easy 12-point play with 20-point upside for me. Last but not least, RB5, DeAndre Swift. Now, I know he had the groin injury this week. It looks like he returned to practice yesterday limited, and he's going to be practicing today limited. I haven't seen if it's full, but he'll get working on Saturday, and he will be good to go, and he will be back at his 60% snap share rate. So what do we have to love about DeAndre Swift, and what Ben Johnson has done with this offense is absolutely amazing. So the Bears are on their 4-game win streak, and you saw at the beginning of the season, DeAndre Swift wasn't getting into much space. Now Ben Johnson, the mastermind, is creating ways to just get him wide open and let him work the yak and just destroy everybody with his absolute versatility in the open field. So past 2 games, he's had 50 fantasy points. That's 25-point average, back-to-back games of 100-plus yards, a touchdown in both games. Yes, Kyle Menunja has taken a little of the inside the 5-yard line, goal line work. So he's still getting goal line, red zone touches, but he's not really getting the goal line touches, if you want to put it that way. So 89 attempts for 419 yards, 4.7 yards per carry, 3 rushing touchdowns. Got to love that from DeAndre Swift. 16 receptions, 166 yards. Like I said, he's gotten into space like crazy. He didn't even really have a game over 50 passing yards to the last game against Washington. 1 receiving touchdown, 62.8% snap share. That's not bad for DeAndre Swift. Target share 11.9, right around where he should be. Red zone touches. So see 15 right there. That's not bad. I always say he doesn't get the goal line carries because he's not getting like the inside the 5-yard line work, but he's still getting red zone touches inside the 20, which is what you like. So 96.5, he is RB12. Now, you get the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, they're coming off a bye. Yes, they're going to be a little healthier on defense. Hopefully they have Lamar Jackson out there. If they don't have Lamar Jackson out there, my God, DeAndre Swift's going even more nuclear. And I haven't seen the Lamar update yet. So the Baltimore Ravens, guys. And we talked about Breece Hall and the Cincinnati Bengals. Who is worst right behind the Cincinnati Bengals at rank 31st at second worst is the Baltimore Ravens run D, giving up 29.1 points per game. 658 on the ground, 7 rushing touchdowns, 238 through the air, about 1,000 yards in total. And they've given up 2 touchdowns through the air as well, making 9 touchdowns through 5 games. That's almost an average of 2 touchdowns a game for the running back. DeAndre Swift is going to go absolutely nuclear this week, and especially if Lamar Jackson is not out there. Fire him up for an easy 12-point floor play with 20-point touchdown upside. Thanks for rocking with me, guys. That is the end of the episode. That is my 5 smash start running backs that I believe are going to give you 12-point floor with 20-point touchdown upside this week based off the great matchups and statistics I just gave you guys. Before we head out, remember, if you have any questions, drop them down below. I will be live again today in about 3 hours from now, and then I'll be live tomorrow. I'll be live Sunday and Monday. We recap it all, see where we were wrong and right on Monday. So if you guys haven't tapped that thumbs up already, hit that thumbs up. Helps me out a ton. Hit that subscription. Turn that bell on so you don't miss any of the content, guys. And again, if you haven't checked out Drafters or the guys FF Discord, they're pinned in the comments and they're in the description of the video. If you want to do best ball drafts with me tomorrow, or actually today, that is the best way to sign up. It'll double your initial deposit to $100. My next video is going to be my wide receiver smash starts, and then that's it for me for the week. All the content is out. I got all my rankings and start sits out before Thursday. That's a goal. And then I do sleepers, smash starts, and then I usually do buy low, sell highs every other 3 weeks. So we got the trade deadline coming, so I plan that out kind of perfectly. So with your, whatever your fantasy league, I guess it depends on what your league is set at for the trade deadline. Some people do no trade deadline. But either way, that'll be coming in 2 weeks here. We'll dive back into that. So that's it for me in this episode. I hope to catch you guys in the next one and possibly in the live stream today. Sleazebomb out. I'll catch you in the next one.